you enter the darkened auditorium, the first place you'll turn the lights on is at the little small control station there at the back of the sound booth area. You see there's different numbers. They'll stand for different presets, pre-programmed presets. We only are using 2 at the time, so let's press 1. As you see, it pulls up that preset, the lights in the auditorium come up. Also, if you enter and you depress 1 or 2, which are the only 2 that are operating, there could be possibly a small delay, as you see here. And don't be alarmed, just give the lights a minute and eventually they will come on. There you can see the second program preset is just a slightly dimmer setting with the chandeliers and some other lights. The main operator control can now be turned on. So you can, this will take control of the light dimmers once you turn the power on. You see we press the button, the lights light up, and now it's taking control. The lights are off since no faders are up. In terms of the basic operation of the system, you can see that there are different channels. Each one represents either a dimmer channel, which controls a circuit of lights, or a entire program, scene memory, which can turn on multiple dimmer channels at the same time. Here you can see we have memory. The red are memory, the green are individual channels. We will go over that in a moment. But you can see here we can operate the different memories by turning the faders up and down. The master fader is on the far right. Make sure that is up. To go into the individual channel mode, there's a arrow right here next to 1 through 24. If you press that button, then that light will take over and you notice that all the lights turn green. That indicates that you are in the individual channel mode. If you hit the memory button on the faders column, you'll see it switches back and forth between the red memories or the green individual channels. So there you can see the channels. At the top row is channels 1 through 12 and memories 1 through 12, and they're color coded to match the light color. The green again being the individual channels, the red being the memories. Generally, the bottom row again is channels 13 through 24. Generally, you will always use the memory setting, especially for new operators. There you can see they're marked. It says full house, full stage, worship bright. These are just different program settings so that you can turn on all the lights or multiple lights, multiple circuits, and so on and so forth with just one dimmer. There you can see in order to turn the full stage up, that is all programmed onto one fader as well. The remaining memories are different settings for different brightnesses in the auditorium. There you can kind of see the chandelier to the north, and they're marked by the type of lights, the stage pars, etc. N is north, S is south, CS is center south, so on and so forth, and you can follow the logic along there. Notice that there are some blank memories which are not in use right now and can be used at a later time. There you can see just the basic operation. We can switch between the memory mode back to the individual channel mode. As you see, as I begin to turn up individual channels, it's not until I turn the one on over the soundboard area that you begin to really see in here. But you can see the individual circuits of lights light up, and then those individual settings or scenes can be saved into a memory, which will be covered in the advanced training. But here we continue to turn up all the individual channels. There are 24 dimmer channels and 24 circuits of lights. By turning all those on in the channel mode, you will have turned on all the lights in the auditorium, with the exception of the balcony lights, which we will cover at the end of the session. Here you can see as I turn that one down, because it is the lights underneath the balcony to the south, you will not be able to see. Here we've turned off all other lights except the lights directly overhead. They say under balcony south. And so here you can see that there are no other lights on in the auditorium but the lights over the soundboard area. And so we want to demonstrate one feature that you need to be aware of. As you can see that the lights go on and up with the fader. But if we switch with a fader up in the individual mode, we switch to the memory mode, you notice that the light is still on and that the fader is still up. And you might think, well, I'll turn the fader down and this light will go down because I want to execute or operate other memories. The light is blinking, indicating that there is a individual channel still in queue up. So if I turn the fader down, because it is still in the queue on the individual channel memory, it will not turn those lights off. I can turn the fader up, down, and it will not turn that off. In order to clear the queue, then what you need to do is return back to the individual channel mode, or the green mode, if you want to call it that. And at that point, you can see that that light is lit, indicating that they're still in the queue. And you notice as the light goes up, it blinks, you get to the place that it's set. Now the fader takes back over, and I can turn it all the way down. Now I'm able to switch back to the memory mode and then turn up only the memory that I would like. A similar function is at work when you do the opposite, and that is, if here in this case we have a memory up and we switch over to the individual channel mode, and you can see there that only certain green lights are on. Those indicate the lights that are on or a part of that memory, because that memory again is still in the queue. So turning those faders up or down, that even though they're lit, will not change anything. I can turn even the fader that turned the memory on, and it will not change anything. Once again, this indicates the individual dimmer channels that are incorporated into that memory that is still in the queue, which in this case is memory number 24. So I switch back to the memory mode. You see memory 24 is blinking. This indicates that that is still in the queue. I have to turn the fader up, back down. Now it has cleared the queue and all the memories are down. And now I can either operate memories or I can switch back to individual channel mode. Again, make sure that the master fader is on or off. In addition to that, the fader right next to that is the bump fader. And this is for the bump function or the bump operation, which is basically the lights that we've been looking at are also push button switches, which by pushing the button and holding it down, it is a momentary push button to turn on just that memory or that channel, depending upon which mode you're in. But as you can see, even though I'm holding down the button, the bump master will shut off all of the bump operation. So if that fader is down, you will not see any of the bump function work. Otherwise, I can just push the button in, and each memory, in this case, since I'm in the memory mode, will activate just that memory. There's also a blackout button directly above the master fader. When you're ready to turn it off, you must hit the power and then hit the little check mark just to the right of the thumb wheel. That will power down the dimmer. Once that happens, the small control station will take over. I can then turn that off, and then I can exit the auditorium. The location of the dimmers are in the electrical closet behind the platform area off the hallway. This is the actual dimmer rack that you can see we have extra fan cooling. If by chance the lights begin to flicker, it may be because it's too hot in that closet. The one thing you need to know in this closet is if you need the balcony lights, they're all located not on dimmers but on individual breakers. They cannot be dimmed from the console. They cannot be dimmed from anywhere. They can only be turned on and off at this location